Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Morning Mug. This is John here, your host. Tonight we are going to be talking about Trump, the good, the bad, the ugly. So we have a guest on here tonight. He's going to be my co-host for this little chat. We're going to be talking about Trump, and let's bring him on board. His name is David Mitchell, and we'll see how this goes. And here is David. Red Tops of the Wolves go off the stage. Here we go. Hey, Dave, how's it going tonight?
Not too bad. And just so everybody knows, John is my brother, but I'm the good looking guy. So
He doesn't have any mirrors to look at, so he can't really tell if that's true or not. He broke everybody he ever looked at, so that's the whole story.
So what are we talking about tonight?
We're going to be talking about Mr. Trump, the good, the bad, the ugly. So, what do you think about the good? Is there any good about Trump?
Well, I don't really know him. I've never met the guy, so it's hard to say whether I would like him or not. But I've followed him now for the last 8-10 years. Ever since the book came out, The Art of the Deal and the Apprentice show. I think from everybody hates the guy, so he must be a half decent fella. That's what I think. He has the same leadership skills that I wish I could perfect, but when you have a father that he had, I'd say he was ready for business by the time that well, I almost said a bad word there for a minute, but I got to watch what I'm saying, I guess. But I'd say, he had his first girlfriend. He probably made his first million because his father was a real hard case. He never got nothing from Daddy Senior unless you earned it.
Well, and, from what I was hearing, from what I heard, his first million comes from his dad. His dad loaned him his first $1 million. That's what the story. That's what the story around goes anyway. That's what I heard. From that, from there. So,
well, whether or not that he lent or he had a loan from his father for his first $1 million, that means that it wasn't his first $1 million because he didn't make it.
That's
so
right.
Just like you would go to the bank to get a loan of something, or a loan of some capital to open up a business, he just got from the daddy bank, I guess.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's true or false, I don't know. But we all have to get money from somewhere if we want to go into business. Now,
I give him this much. He has made a name for himself with all of his hotels, his casinos, his restaurants, even his in the show he was in, the apprenticeship or whatever it was, I think it was. That was a great show. I thought it was pretty good anyway. Worst thing I think he ever did was go into politics myself, but that's just me.
Yeah. The Trump name earlier, his father began in the shipping and waterfront commercial properties.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just from reading what I've been able to ascertain. His father was in the earlier days of the buildup of New York City, most importantly, the Manhattan area, office buildings and condominiums. When you when you enter into a business arena where every hour on the phone means that it's $1 million, things are very serious. So what I would say is that Donald was already into the money before he was even born. His father only made him earn it the right way, just to teach him a lesson, and that is that you don't get anything for free. I know for a fact that before he became president, or he actually became a candidate for president, he was worth 50 billion then, and
Mhm.
that's through all his real estate assets. It
Mhm.
had nothing to do with his father.
Mhm.
So we're and that's only from reading like, the newspapers, magazines, just hearing people, YouTubers, talk about it because he gets talked about a lot. Not
No,
very,
yes.
not very nice either.
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
So, what do
Um,
you think about what he's doing for the United States right now?
in what capacity?
Well,
He is
his
president of the
slogan,
United States, so
yeah, his slogan for his campaign was, uh, "I'm going to make U.S. great again." Come on, really?
well,
That
well,
alone is great.
I don't think you can make it any less or any better than what it is. It's a country that has the world reserve currency, and with that
Mhm.
comes a lot of how do you say it, responsibilities,
Mhm.
and at the same time a lot of benefits. So if they're used properly, the whole world can benefit from it. But if they're not, then the world is at the beck and call of the United States. And so
Yeah.
far, from what I see, the last 80 years, or since 1913 onward, it's been nothing but shit and corruption from all angles.
Mhm.
And Donald Trump is just another little cog in the big wheel of what would you say? Um, the velocity of money, how and the faster that it can move, the more everybody's making, or the slower that it's moving, then the elites are the ones making it. Back in the 50s, 60s, and the 70s, everything was actually going very, very strong for the United States, and probably for most of the post World War II countries that were involved in it. Um,
Mhm.
I can I know that the up until 1973, the 1973, I believe, yeah, I believe President Nixon took the American dollar off the gold standard, and that is when everything began going to shit.
Mhm.
Because without a backing, the American dollar was backed by nothing, which meant that it was basically freewheeling the whole way. They also bought in quantitative easing, which meant that they could print however much money they wanted to, which aided people like Donald Trump and everybody else out there that was holier than thou. I guess you could say. With the advent of what was it? Career politicians. Politicians didn't have to be voted in. There was only a few that had to be. A few senators. Some some were um, back in Newfoundland, I guess, and that's where I'm from. They would be
Mhm.
called hangatours. They just can't wait for the next person to run for president so they can hop on the bandwagon and act like they're all enamored with the new president coming in. Because believe you me, they know who the next president is going to be. All
Yeah.
this pompous show with the candidates, and all these town hall meetings and stuff. That's just a show. That's just for
Yeah.
us to. But the amount of
Yeah,
money
but
that
some of these,
is.
yeah,
Go ahead, John.
some of these news lies that they're saying, though, the Gaza and stuff like that, what he's been saying about it, that's not correct. I mean,
Well,
you know,
okay.
and then to for the American people to actually vote somebody in, that's a criminal. Period. I mean, he's already been charged. He was charged with, you know, whatever he was charged with, but it's in their constitution that he's not allowed to be president. But obviously, he slipped through the cracks and became president, right?
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. I can line up 50 people. I can tell the first person a line of bullshit, and by the time it
Yeah,
gets to the last person, the 50th person, it's perfectly reasonable, and everyone accepts it
yeah,
for what it is. But who knows what the real message is, right?
yeah. True,
These
true,
days,
true, true.
media is bought and owned by the big, by what we call the elites, the multi billionaires, and they can channel through ad agencies. Hell, I mean, even the government. All right, they own the government, and
Oh
they can do
yes.
whatever they want. So whatever you believe, that's great. Whatever I believe, that's great. We all have a reason for living, but we all have an opinion. Okay, and
Yes.
my wife would say opinions are like bum holes. We all have one, right? So I mean, you can say whatever you
True.
want, but if you can just research and redact the information that you're hearing before you can actually say that it's either positive or a negative connotation, if you're getting enough people saying like the same um, bit of information, you can
Yeah.
fairly well say that 8 times out of 10 is true. Right now, you mentioned Gaza. Why did you mention Gaza? Are you is that a certain part of Trump's mandate that you're
Well,
for,
no,
or
he said let's turn it into a holiday destination. All the stuff. Oh yeah, he did say that on the news.
one
Said,
of these
oh
days?
yeah,
Yes, it
let's.
will be. One of these
Huh?
days, yes, it will be. Where do you think?
That's
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm only just regurgitating some things that I've heard and also researched too. But in in the 40s, in the late 40s, after World War II was over, and in the early 50s, um, because the what was left of the Jewish hierarchy, let's say, all right, the rich guys, um, the powers to be wanted to find a home for these guys. Okay, so the Israel was well formed, I guess, in the late 40s, early 50s, and in the preceding years after that. Palestine was the area where they were settled. Okay, there's a big difference between it, if you don't know, there's a big difference between Israel, Palestine, and Gaza. Okay, Gaza is, from my understanding of it anyway, is a, a terrorist nation. Palestine is the area where they live.
Mhm.
Israel is a bordering um, population of people that borders Palestine. Now, many times Palestine gave way to, or Israel gave way to Palestine, right? Because for some reason that I can't find out why. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong information. But they're not going to be pushed any further. Now, from what I understand, the whole premise to Gaza, or the Hamas, which is a known terrorist group, the whole premise to it is is to get rid of Israel, and now Israel's fighting back. October the 7th, I believe it was, Gaza put uh, its soldiers into Israel and killed from I think it was 1,800 people, 1,800 plus people, and also took a bunch of hostages.
Mhm.
And it was on a truly religious holiday. So that right there is a smack in the face to Israel. And the one thing that we have to remember here that began a war, and I'm going to akin it to um, an Indian tribe, let's say from the 1400s, attacking, say, the United States of America. Who do you think is going to win that war?
Well, of course, United States, but still, he has no right saying what he's saying.
Well, I mean, he has any right to say it. He is uh, supreme leader of um, the most powerful nation right now in the world.
You
So
know,
he can say whatever he wants to say, and somebody else can
I
say
guess.
something else to him too, and it's well within and their right to do it.
Yeah,
I mean, but again, that's just your opinion, right? That
sure.
doesn't mean you're right. That doesn't mean you're wrong either. That's
No,
why there's
that's
lines
true.
of communication, right?
It's true.
And hopefully those guys can actually communicate. But there's an awful lot of underlying politics that we don't get to see, and most
Oh,
of
this is
us, right? Most of us never will get to see. For one
true.
thing, I think that the ruling elites of the world, the cabal that they're called, I think that that an awful lot of them are Jews from Israel. I do. I honestly do. There's an awful lot of information out there, and if you redact the names that's in that information, if you research it
Mhm.
enough, you'll find them. An awful lot of them are Jews. They're
Mhm.
Jewish. They have a Jewish background. The old families like the Rothschilds, the Vanderbilts, the Carnegies, they all belong in that big um, pool of wealth,
Yeah.
generational wealth, right? And money doesn't mean anything out of these guys at all because they first prepared anything. Now
Yeah.
it's just wealth, and wealth brings power, and they want to hold on to it. So whatever they
That's
can
true.
do in any part of the world, they tried Ukraine, right?
Mhm.
But Vladimir Zelensky, he was just tired of being told what to do. So now that little monkey, he's just causing problems, which will end soon. But I mean, I think though too that they're poking the bear over there because Russia really hasn't. If Putin was as bad as everybody makes him out to be, that war would have been over the first couple of weeks. All right, but he's just trying to be out of diplomatic person. It isn't working out for him very well.
Diplomatic.
But
I like that word, diplomatic. Yeah, okay.
well, hey, I mean, well, okay,
Killing
you
thousands
laugh.
of people,
Uh,
killing thousands of people is not diplomatic in my
let's see
books.
if you think this is funny. In
Pardon?
Obama's first term, but second year, the League of Nations are something met. From what I've been able to read, I don't know how many countries are in it, but I was told 27 countries. Putin was there; he attended, and he had some a delegation from the Ukraine,
Mhm.
and he met with Obama with the cameras and everybody right in front of him, and he said, and they asked him how he felt to being there, blah blah blah, and what was his purpose. He said that the sole purpose. Now, I mean, this is through a translator also, but they said, or he said through the translator, I guess, that he was looking forward to bring Russia and the Ukraine into NATO, and it was actually quite funny, but the reaction. Um,
Yeah.
So I mean, at that time, I mean, that was the Cold War, right? But
Yeah.
people like Trump, they have to have an enemy to fight, because if they don't, well, they're not going to be able to keep us occupied enough to see what our governments are actually doing, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, NATO right now there's a big call to disband NATO, because all it is just a bunch of countries that are pilfering money from everybody, right? For protection that we don't need. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, if everybody would actually just put down their, I don't know, say put down your weapons and say hello to each other, the whole world would find peace in 15 to 20 years, right? I mean, obviously,
Really?
what's that?
Do you think that really happened in a couple of years? Everybody would find peace?
If we
These
wanted
people
to,
that are in government now,
if we wanted to, we could. If we wanted to, we could.
it has to be the right people, not with the people that's there now.
Okay, but all right. So let's just look at it right now. Do you think that the electric automobile is a great thing, that we should have it?
Pardon?
The electric automobile.
What
Do
about
you
it?
think that's a great achievement?
Yes, it is a great achievement. Of course it is.
And should if everybody had the ability to have one, would it be good for the economy, for the environment, and everything?
For the environment, yes. Definitely.
For what? Yeah.
For the environment, yes.
Can you believe that we've had the electric car since 1956?
I heard some along them rumors, yes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did, and Chrysler and GM were actually going to put them into to mass production, but because Ford and all the big oil companies all over the world, and most of the governments that were getting kickbacks from the oil people, from the oil and gas companies, there was a few people killed. All right, shit happens like this all the time. There was a few well-placed people killed, and they were spokespeople for the like the new revolution of cars, and I mean, there was also talk of turbofans put in cars.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. But see, that shit that would mean that that people like us will be able to gravitate to a new level of being, right? But the elites have to be elite, and in order for them to be elite, there have to be somebody poor, right?
That's right.
And
That's
we
right.
and we be like them.
Yeah.
But the one thing that always shows through is that because an awful lot of these people that are elites that have power, that power came from somewhere a long time ago, and those people used to be like us, right? It
This is true.
it took 2 years for those people to acquire the wealth that they have, right? And
Well, I'm sorry to cut this short, but this studio only lets me have a certain amount of time to do a dual
right,
video.
yeah. Well,
So we'll have
to
to cut
answer
it
your
off here.
question, to answer your question about Trump, Trump is just another useful tool that's very slowly becoming another tool for the cabal, for the ones that actually run the world. And he is not unlike anybody else. Sure, he has a bit of money, and he has actually acquired quite a bit of wealth. But he's actually going to be acquiring a hell of a lot more because he's about to initiate the next crypto blitz, and he's going to have to, because if by the end of this year, early next year, they don't do something about the $37 trillion of debt that they have, say, compiled. Every 3 months they have to pay $1 trillion in interest on it. There will not be the reserve currency in a couple of years. So he has to do something drastic and immediate in the next couple of years, while he has the power. Now you can also look in the midterms. If he doesn't get the vote, he won't be able to do anything. He'll only be a puppet. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what you need to
All
look
right,
for.
guys. Oh, wait now. We got some. Is this stream live? Um, is this a video? Oh, hey, we had some comments today.
Okay, good. Comments are good.
Yes, we are live. Okay, gonna send that. There we go. We just sent that. He just said, Bob. He just said, "Hi guys." He asked if the stream was live, and I told him yes. Is it a loop video? I'm not sure what he means by that, but we'll see. I'm
Is it a
just
what?
getting started with this. A loop video. I'm not sure what he means by that. So,
Okay.
um, anyway, okay. So I'm going to let you go tonight, Dave, and
Yeah.
we'll continue this. We'll go on the air again next week here, same time, same place. And
Yep.
I guess we're into, what is it? Is it Halloween season coming up here soon?
Halloween.
That's next month. That's next month, right?
Yeah, that's the end of October.
End of, no, it's not end of October. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, anyway, we'll figure out what we're going to stream about next week. Thanks a lot
Yeah.
for joining me again today, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Have a few more of those gummies.
Yeah, sure.
You don't even know what Halloween is.
Yeah. Oh, well, leave me alone. Talk to you later, bro. Okay, guys, so that's it for tonight. That's, one man's topic, one man's view on what's going on in the world. Um, I agree with a lot of what he was saying. There's some stuff that I do not agree with, but that's just me. Everybody has their own opinion. Um, so join us here next week. I don't know what we're going to be talking about next week, but I'm sure there's going to be something interesting. So come back and join us. And yes, I do know when Halloween is. It's over 30 or 31st, one of those 2 days. Uh, I see David down there in the corner just laughed to kill himself. So towards the end of October, we'll definitely do a Halloween special. Maybe we'll get Dave to dress up as a good-looking man. Who knows? We'll see what happens, right? Uh, until then, guys, have a great day and have a great night. And once again, we'll talk to you later. Bye for now.